Okay, everybody, let's begin. So, thank you for being here right on time. Those of you that are here, we'll probably have a bunch more people joining us. So, they'll just come in when they do, and we will just welcome them as they come in. So, my name is Mary O'Connor, and my company is called the Ecstatic Entrepreneur. And over the last 18 years, I've been working with over 3,500 individual business owners. And I have encountered so many wonderful people who have such a great passion and such a great desire to make a difference. And one of the things that has constantly crept up is the challenge around selling, specifically and deeply on the whole arena of selling, which I call the Ecstatic Selling Seminar. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you've never met me before, I'm very, very excited to meet you. So that's me, Mary O'Connor. And just a little bit about me. So I like to show people my origins because I think this is where my skills started happening at an early age. You'll see there's 8 of us, and that's me over there in the bathing cap. Whoops. That's me over there. And I was the oldest of 9 kids. And you'll see here Eileen, Julie, Billy, Terry, Edward, Johnny, and Maura. And Tommy is actually not in the photo because he was too little to sit up on the pool wall here. And so I grew up in New York with this very fabulous, fun, large Irish Catholic family. And of course, when you come from such a large family, it's really important to learn how to negotiate at an early age. So I always say that I got my start doing organization development when I was 10. And here's what Christmas was like at my house. So my mother, in the middle here, decided after my father passed away that she would marry Bob McDougall because marrying a guy with another 7 kids sounded like a really good idea. So anyway, we have a great, absolutely wild time at Christmas with Mom, Phil, and Bub, and these are just a sprinkling of from the kids in my family. So we have over 67 people in my immediate family, and bless their hearts, my mom and Bub are both passed on. So, but just to give you an idea of what life was like in my household. So learning how to negotiate and how to navigate turbulent times was a daily practice for me. So the purpose of this seminar is to create a supportive environment so that you can learn the art of ecstatic selling and double your clientele over the next 90 days. Okay, that's the purpose of what I'm attempting to teach you today. Now, I just want to say a word about what we're doing today. So this is a 3-hour webinar. And at about 5 minutes to the hour, at about 9:55, what I'm going to do is we're going to press the pause button so that we can take a bio break, get some more water, get some more coffee or tea, and then rejoin the call at let's see, is that going to work? Kaylee, I forgot to ask you this. So I wanted to have it just stop at the 5 minutes to the hour so that we would have that the download wouldn't be such a big file. And now it occurs to me that I'm not sure that I can do that with the same link. So let's just say that the link is going to stay live. So stay on the call. We'll just take a pause for 5 minutes and you can have a bio break then. What I do intend to do is let you know that there is a chat button. There should be a chat button on your webinar on the right panel of your screen. So on the right panel of your screen, there should be a chat button which you can click. And right there, you can go ahead and type in a question. So I'm going to demonstrate, type in a question to ask me. Okay. And you can do that anytime you want. And what I'm going to do is ask that you be patient so that after I've gone through a piece of content, then I can come back and address your questions. So please do take advantage of that because I really want to know what your questions are, if there's something unclear, or if there's a particular challenge that you have that we can address. So, yeah, hopefully that will work for you. So because this is a webinar format, I'm going to unfortunately have to do most of the talking. So I really do like the interaction. So if you definitely have something to say or something to comment, I will read your message and identify who it is so that we can get your feedback in real time. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, so I want to just say that I believe that, sorry, I didn't mean to click on that screen so soon. I believe that the ecstatic selling system is so easy and so natural and graceful that once we really understand how to do it, you can take the fear and resistance out and really enjoy the art of selling, because it's actually a really wonderful, profound process. And I believe that every visionary entrepreneur can transform their relationship with selling and generate all the clients they need when they understand these 6 steps of ecstatic selling that I'm going to teach you. So my intention for you is to have a breakthrough in your sales such that you double the amount of sales you would normally do in the next 90 days. So whatever you would normally do, if you would normally do 3 clients or 6 clients, my intention is that you double that amount once you learn this process. So now I know how it is when you're on the computer and I can't see you. There might be a temptation to do other things while you are listening to this webinar, like reading your emails, fixing dinner, washing your clothes, or having coffee with a friend. But I'm going to ask you to actually stop what you're doing and give yourself over to the gift of this training. This material I've been collecting over the past 35 years. It contains some of the most streamlined, effortless selling processes you're going to find anywhere. That's right. I started selling 35 years ago, and I will tell you more about that. The more engaged you are in this seminar, the more value you are going to get. I'm going to invite you to just stay engaged and stay focused, because there will be exercises that I want you to do in order to get the most out of this. So do your best to stay focused and present while doing the exercises. They are designed for you to really have a breakthrough in the arena of sales so that you can have more fun getting clients and making way more money. Would you like that? Everybody say yes. This training has the potential to change you and your business forever. Okay, it's a hands-on course, so I invite you to embrace the exercises if you want to get the most value out of them. And I'm going to give you a very specific formula and a very specific template that is going to help you do this process of selling in an easy, graceful way that is very authentic. You're going to love it. This means you may have to step into something new, and sometimes when we step into something new, it can be uncomfortable. You know how when you go back to the gym after you haven't been to the gym in a while, it can feel like, you know, it really hurts and you get sore and it can be uncomfortable when you first start going to the gym, right? But you know how every time you go back to the gym and you practice doing that, lifting weights or getting on the elliptical or whatever you do, you get stronger and you get more comfortable. That's what's going to happen here when you practice using the weights of this ecstatic selling process. You are going to get stronger and you're going to get more comfortable. I remember learning to play the piano when I was 7. And you know, when you try to do anything for the first time, it's awkward. It's like, it's that whole beginner feeling. And for me, that's terribly uncomfortable. But once I started practicing, I started getting more and more pleasure out of it. And that's exactly what will happen when you practice the skills and the techniques and the templates that I'm going to teach you today. It's only uncomfortable because it's new, and it will take you out of your comfort zone. So I have 2 strong recommendations. One is that you jump into this process with your whole heart and soul. The sooner and more passionately you jump into discovering your niche, articulating your offer, and practicing the ecstatic enrollment process, the easier it's going to get. Number two, I'm going to ask you to make some important mind shifts. So you're actually going to develop a new mindset with regard to selling. So there are a couple mind shifts that I'm going to invite you to take right away. The first one is to be willing to see things in a new way. You know how when you're playing with a child and a little kid has so much curiosity, even like the tiniest bug is so fascinating. When you put on those glasses of like when you were a little kid, you're going to see things in a new way. So I'm inviting you to put on these glasses that I'm inviting you to share today, my ecstatic selling glasses. So you can see the whole process of selling in a new way that is actually terribly exciting and profoundly moving and deeply impacting other people. It has a deep impact on other people. And I am also going to invite you to see things in a new way because it actually opens up more possibility than you realize. Your mind opens up to a new way of being. And the more you grow, the more your business will grow. Every time you grow and expand, you step into a newer, bigger version of yourself, and you're going to grow your income as well as your self-worth. The second mind shift I'm going to invite you to try on is be willing to experiment. And that means be willing to fail, be willing to stumble, be willing to trip over yourself a few times with these ideas by doing the exercises. That's what we're in together. We're in a practice lab together so we can practice trying on kind of a new way of doing things and experiment and just add on. I'm not asking you to throw anything away, but imagine adding on to your existing body of knowledge of what you know, just adding some new information and some new techniques. So over the last 18 years, as I've been working with a lot of women entrepreneurs, I've noticed that the number one reason why they fail at business is not because they don't have enough money. It's not because they're undercapitalized. And it's not because they're not smart and they don't have the right team or they don't have the right product or service. The number one thing I've noticed is that they don't attend to the sales and marketing aspects of their business. So I'm going to train you in the mind steps, the steps, and the flow and the sequence. I'll say that again. I'm going to train you in the mindset, the steps, the flow, and the sequence of events that will most easily and effortlessly put high-paying clients in your pocket. Okay, so I'm going to share with you my definition of ecstatic selling because it's not the same as regular selling. Ecstatic selling is the act of inspiring people into new possibility such that they take action now. Let me read that again. Ecstatic selling is the act of inspiring people into a new possibility such that they take action now. So the key word in that sentence is inspiring people, because the act of selling that most of us have grown up around or have in our belief system has to do with coercing. And that's not at all what selling really is. It's not at all what we're up to. We are up to inspiring people into a new possibility, something that they could not have imagined for themselves before, and such that they take action now. They sign up, they do something based on your inspiration. Okay? So I want you to take out the um, take out the key obstacles handbook, the key obstacles checklist, rather. Can everybody see the screen? I hope that everybody can see the screen. Can you see the screen. I'm just wanting to check in to make sure that everybody can see what we're doing here. And did you get the handouts? So the handouts should have been sent to you. If you don't have them, I'll walk you through them together. So, okay. So I'm just going to address my admin person, Kaylee. All right. All right, so that's okay. We're just going to move forward. I'm going to read you the checklist, and it's going to show up on the screen, and I want you to check off all that apply. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll send the handouts to you after the call, and I'll send the handouts to you after the call. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for responding. So we'll send the handouts to you after the call, and I'm going to walk you through them right now. Okay, so where? Okay, so first of all, we're going to start with the key obstacles. So the key obstacles checklist are, these are the typical list of things that I've encountered in working with people that often are obstacles to filling their pipeline with their ideal clients and making the money that they desire. So let's go through these. So what I want you to do is, with your own notepad right there, go ahead and check off or identify or write down the ones that apply to you. So number one, no clear niche. That means no focused group of people that you're focused on serving. Number two, not following up with prospective clients. Number three, charging fees that are too low. Number four, charging less than others with comparable experience. Number five, taking clients who have no money. Number six, taking on overly demanding clients. Next, no clear sales goals. Next, an unclear offer. Maybe it's too vague or it's not clear what you're actually offering that person. Next obstacle, sorry. Next obstacle is too many offers. Sometimes we make too many offers at once. We offer more than one thing at a time, and then people get confused. Okay, thank you. And not keeping a steady stream of clients in your pipeline. That's a big problem for people. Taking clients who are not in your niche. Not making enough invitations for free consultations. That's a big obstacle. Trading for services. Trading for services, which I know is very common among a lot of people. However, if you're trading too much, you're going to block out the space for high-paying clients. Next, spending time on non-income generating tasks. This is a big problem for a lot of people. And the next one, key obstacle, is not putting marketing activities into your calendar. Okay, next obstacle, not tracking your sales activities. Vagueness about how many sales you need. Not being clear, how many sales do you actually need to make your monthly goal? Not hiring support when you need it. That's a key obstacle. Unclear about your criteria for ideal clients. Not asking for referrals. No consistent marketing. Not sure how to convert prospects into paying clients. Not taking advantage of social media. Thinking that networking is the same as marketing. Doing everything yourself. Being distracted by bright, shiny objects. You all know what that means. Finding something more interesting to do than doing your sales activities. Being distracted by brilliant idea syndrome. This is where you get a brilliant idea every other day, and then you usurp the idea that you had 2 days ago and don't actually get enough traction on it. Not having a support system. That's really critical. And last, doing anything else but marketing. Okay, so what I want you to do is go ahead and go over that list and identify the top 3 items that if you were to fix them, you would significantly increase your income. So go ahead and do that now. Identify the top 3 things that if you were to fix them or handle them, that you would significantly increase your income. Okay, and now star the number 1 issue that you can see out of that list, that if you were to have a breakthrough in that area, you would have way more clients and way more income. So go ahead and star that now. Okay, once you've done that, decide now if you are willing to do something about that issue. So I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath and let it out with a sigh. And decide right now, am I willing and ready and able to actually do something about this issue? And even if you don't know what to do, just set the intention that you want to have a breakthrough in that area. And by the end of this seminar, something will have shifted. So go ahead and set your intention. Good. Thank you. So once we get clear about what's actually missing, then we can do something about it. Did you ever notice that? If you don't know what it is that's missing, you can't actually do something about it. And I was just talking to someone yesterday, and I was asking her about how she was doing getting new clients, because this was a new coach. And her conversation was that, oh, I don't have any clients because I'm really an unknown in this area. I don't really know anybody. But it actually wasn't the real truth. The truth is that the branding of her offer was not attractive to people. It was not causing people to lean in. You know, the lean-o-meter? People are either leaning in or they're leaning out or they're staring at you with that frozen look in their eyes. And you want to pay attention to that when you tell them what you do. See if they're leaning in or they're leaning out. So she had a big aha in that moment, because she was able to see that people were leaning out, and that what she needs to do is actually reframe and rebrand herself in a more positive way. So that's a big obstruction for clients coming to this client. So the big idea in this ecstatic system that I'm sharing with you is that money flows to you through other people. Okay, money flows to you through other people. Because that is true, the more you clarify your niche and identify the people that you serve and articulate the solution that you provide, the more attractive you will be to those people. And they are going to be looking for you and sending you all of their friends. So I'll say that again. This is a very important concept to understand that money flows to you through other people. That's how money comes in. It's through other people. So the more clear you are about who you really serve, who has the problem that you actually can help them with, and identify those people and articulate the solution, the more attractive you will be to those people, and the more they will send you their friends, and the more money you'll make. So I understand that a lot of the mindset that women in particular, but it's actually a misunderstanding because we are not a used car salesman. None of you are selling cars, are you? And even if you were, you wouldn't do it like your mind thinks you would. Okay? So I am going to help you with that by helping you reset your emotional resonance with selling, which is what I call the belief mindsets of ecstatic selling. So I'm going to read them to you because I think they're really fun and I think that they will help you embrace a new way of being about the whole sales process. So go ahead and close your eyes and take a deep breath. And let it out with a deep sigh. And take another deep breath all the way down to your toes. All right, I just want to make sure that you can hear me now. So, can you hear me now? Okay. All right, thank you. All right. Okay, good. Thank you very much. So, I apologize for that. Sometimes the technology is not perfect, so I'm going to ask that we invite all of the technology angels into this seminar today to help us create a safe and supportive environment for this training to occur, and that they're on our side and that nothing bad is going to happen. Okay, so go ahead and take another deep breath all the way down to your toes and let it out with a deep sigh. Just go ahead and relax your neck, relax your eyes and your jaw. Just allow your whole body to soften, feeling your body sitting on the chair, feeling your feet on the floor. And just let yourself soak in these new beliefs. So the mindset beliefs of ecstatic selling. So trying this on, I love people and care deeply about serving them. I have a purpose that is bigger than me, and it is my joy to fulfill it. Every conversation is an opportunity to expand. I'm intensely curious and I care deeply about people. My business is serving my big vision. Clients are attracted to my vision. So go ahead and take a deep breath and soak those in. And let it out with a sigh. So just notice if you could adopt those mindsets. They should now be on your screen. Notice if that is something you would like to. I love people. Can you find the truth of that in your heart? I have a purpose that's bigger than me. Isn't that true about you? Every conversation is an opportunity to expand. Could you try that on for a week? I'm intensely curious and care deeply about people. Yes, you do. My business is serving my big vision, and clients are attracted to my vision. So I just want you to just see what it's like to just live inside of those beliefs for a week. Maybe have these be printed out or have them stated somewhere. I will send you also the PowerPoint after this presentation so you can have this in exact wording. So would this help you adopt a softer approach to the process of selling? I think that would be really fun for you to do. Good. So this new mindset of enrollment is really reframing the act of selling as an act of service. I have a good friend, Katerina Rondo, who likes to say, if you can't sell, you can't serve. I love that. It is so true. You have to surrender to the idea that selling is how you are going to serve the people you came here to help. So replace the word selling with serving. It's much more natural to serve people. We all like doing that. It's about relaxation and reciprocity. Being focused on the other person is the key to ecstatic selling. Okay, so ecstatic selling is a way of being. You know how some people just be and they're so compelling and inviting that you just want to enroll in their programs? They just exude a charisma and a care that is so inviting. We just want to be around them. Well, that is something that you can cultivate in yourself as a way of being. That way of being of an ecstatic seller is to be inspiring, curious, caring, and compelling. I will say that again. The way of being of an ecstatic seller is inspiring, curious, caring, and compelling. And selling in this context is a way of being. It's not a doing. Okay? So just checking in. I know that this has cut out a couple of times, and I apologize so much for that. There is a little bit of a flawed connection here. So just checking in. Can you all hear me now? Okay. I think you can, but I just want to make sure. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, Linda, Cameron, Guido, for responding. I really appreciate that. It's really helpful. Thank you for the feedback. So in this context, it's really selling is a way of being. It's not doing. Thank you, Cameron. Good. And in this game that I'm offering you today, what we're really offering people is the feeling you can trust me. I could put that goofy picture in there because I like that guy a lot. So I know it's a little sarcastic, but you can trust me is actually the bottom line. So the entire point of selling in this context, ecstatic selling, is the only goal that you have is to engender a feeling of trust with the other person. That's the most important thing you can do with your prospective clients is instill the feeling that they can trust you. So what creates trust? Think about it for yourself. What makes you feel safe and trusting? When someone calls you at dinner time on the phone and you know they're calling from India, and there's that awkward pause when the auto dial feature kicks in, do you feel trust? Probably not. That's why we get so annoyed when that happens, because we don't feel like that person is actually really interested in us. So what creates trust is several things. It's when a person is really interested and curious in us. They're paying really close attention to what you're saying. When they feel reliable and dependable. When they feel credible, like they have experience and a track record of success. And when they have knowledge or expertise that's greater than our own. So those are some of the core qualities of creating trust, which is your number one job, is to be a person who's interested and curious in the other person, is to be reliable and dependable, is to be credible, meaning you have experience or some track record of success, even if it's just one page beyond the people you're talking to. And when you have knowledge or expertise that's greater than the other person. So those are kind of the things that also create the experience of trust. It's when somebody pays attention to our needs and our pain, and they're attentive to that. They're sensitive to that. They offer us a way out of our particular pain or a way to resolve our issues and address our needs. That's what feels trusting, when it's authentic and sincere. Okay? So I believe that selling is a master game. It's like a martial art, because it's the kind of activity that you never reach the goal line. It's a master game, meaning that there's always room to improve. And you always wake up in the morning to a blank canvas every time you face a new prospect and open your mouth. So it is actually an act of creating a powerful, profound relationship with another person that is always fresh and new, and you always get to practice and expand your capacity for empathy, curiosity, interest, and attention. So the objective here is truly only one thing: to create trust, because people buy emotionally and they justify that rationally. So think about that. We buy emotionally and justify that rationally. So people buy based on how they feel, or how a product or a service they imagine is going to make them feel. And then they justify it with their mind. And this is a key point, and that's why people who are really effective at moving people deeply, that's why Martin Luther King was so effective at enrolling people into his big mission, his big vision, because he was so effective at resonating at the heart vibration, at the emotional resonance with other people, that so many people could feel that powerful emotional resonance with him, that they would do whatever he asked for. And that's how great leaders show up. They show up as powerful, emotionally resonant beings. And that's a really this piece of the puzzle is commonly overlooked, but it is so important to be emotionally attuned. So what does that mean? It means being empathic, being able to feel what another person is feeling, being able to see that flicker of emotion on their face when you said something, and inquire about that. I just saw that look on your face. Tell me more about that. What just happened? You will be so surprised, if you just are staying attentive to the other person, what can happen, because it's a mystery. It's an unfolding, and it's dynamic. So there's no script that can actually cover all of the things that can happen in a real, powerful, empathic conversation with another human being. And that's being emotionally resonant with that person. Another way of saying this is that people buy based on the energy they feel between you and them. People buy based on the energy they feel between you and them. They buy because they feel better about themselves. They feel calmer. They feel like they feel empowered. And whether or not they feel good about you and your offer. So we're always attuned to the energy of the other person. We're not paying so much attention to the words because often the words don't match the energy that you're feeling, right? But we're always paying attention to the energy that we're experiencing from another person. That's why your energy is more important than your words. The energy of your being, how you're being, is more important than getting the perfect, crafted, scripted editing of your compelling offer. So they buy emotionally and justify it mentally. So people go back and justify it rationally within their mind. This is critical because when you can reach people on the emotional level using emotional language and being emotionally connected, and some of the techniques are just simply being in eye contact, being present in your body, sensing them with your emotional empathic body. And when you do that, people will relax around you and they will want to be around you. The more relaxed you are, the more they're going to trust you and they're going to say, I want what that person has. Okay? So that's about the being of ecstatic selling, being, and why I think it's a master game. So we're going to switch gears into the next level of ecstatic selling, and that is the key to transforming people into paying clients is understanding how to have the ecstatic selling conversation that converts people into clients. So I'm going to teach you about that in the next little section here. What I love so much about this ecstatic selling system is that when you master it, you will have certainty that you can transform a certain percentage of all of your potential prospects into high-paying clients. You can start to feel confident about how to build your business. You can start to feel confident about how to predict your income. So this is really something that could be very elusive to a lot of people, is they don't know that they are in 100% control of their income. And that control comes from knowing how to have consistent conversations that convert into clients. Consistent conversations that convert into clients. So when you know that you have an actual proven process for getting people into conversations, conducting those conversations in a clear and organized fashion, which I'm going to teach you, that you can predict that a percentage of them, at least 25% of those people, are going to turn into paying clients, you can start to have some fun. You can start to predict your income. You can start to see how to turn that money faucet on. So this is going to eliminate all of that internal dialogue that you might be having called, what do I do to get a client? What do I do to get a client? The main thing is that you want to create a steady flow of ideal prospects into your pipeline. Think of it as a steady flow of clients, like being able to turn on your money faucet. Your business should be set up so that over a period of time, as you build momentum, you will be able to turn on that faucet anytime you need cash or need income and have money flow out on demand. That's what I would like you to have as a goal. Okay, so I want to just take a pause and see if anybody has a question So go ahead and type in a question in that chat box, which you can see on the right hand of your screen there. And if you have a question about anything that I just talked about, go ahead and type it in now, and I'll wait and count to 5. And if there's no questions, I will come right back and we'll continue. Great. Perfect. All right. So we went through the key obstacles. We went through the main ideas that money flows to you through other people. We installed some new mindset beliefs about how to be as an ecstatic selling person. And we talked about being inspiring, curious, caring, and compelling, knowing that your main job is to instill trust in the other person. Okay? So now we're going to take the next step, which is identifying the 5 keys to create consistent clients. So this is the signature system that I have developed over the past 18 years of working with people to create a very simple, foolproof structure. So when you know how to do these 5 things, you will be able to relax and know that you can turn on your money faucet anytime you want. Okay? This is going to streamline the process of getting clients and keeping them. So I'll read this to you. Number 1, identify your niche. Number 2, create your compelling offer. Number 3, master the free consultation with the ecstatic selling process. 4, create your programs, packaging, and pricing. And 5, implement your simple marketing strategy. Okay? So in this seminar, we're going to focus on the first 3 keys: identifying your niche, creating a compelling offer, and mastering the free consultation. And I have some bonus templates to offer you at the end, which are going to also help you know how to get a ton of free consultations from your email list. So that's a bonus. Okay, so number 1, identify your niche. Okay, so discovering a profitable niche that only you can serve is at the heart of this ecstatic selling process. So the key word here is a profitable niche. For years, I had a very vague niche, and then I had a very unprofitable niche. And until I really realized that this was not a profitable niche, I couldn't make any money. So you can either be a big fish in a small bowl or a little fish in a big bowl. And as a big fish in a small bowl, you capture the lion's share of the market. So it's actually 3 things. So identifying your niche is not just the thing that you do. It's actually the people you serve, the problem they have, and the solution you offer. It's all 3 things. The people you serve, the problem they have, and the solution you offer. So we're going to start here and clarify your niche, okay? So this is going to lead us into a conversation about niche clarification and focusing on a niche. And one of the things I want to address right away is that sometimes people feel afraid of picking a niche because they don't want to narrow their market. They get afraid that this will prevent people from finding them if they only focus on a specific group of people. And sometimes that fear stops them from actually participating in this exercise. So I want to invite you to keep an open mind about this process. And secondly, to be decisive when it comes to the part about picking a niche. Okay? I know people that spend years swirling around and never picking a niche. So many people struggle with this idea of just picking one niche because a part of them says, but I want to work with these people and I don't want to work with these people and I don't want to leave anybody out. And I'm sure some of you can relate to that. I don't want to leave anybody out. But the problem with saying that I work with anyone and everyone who has this problem is that anyone and everyone translates in the mind to No one. And so no one will show up. So it can be exhausting to try to go back and forth inside your own head and navigate in those different minds. So I'm going to ask you to make a decision when we get to that point, to be decisive, and remember that you can always change your mind, but give it a chance to work. So when it comes to a niche, there's no plan B. You either have a lucrative, viable niche or you don't. Being indecisive keeps you stuck and frustrated and not actually making the kind of money that you potentially could. So a good example is thinking about doctors. So who makes more money, the general practitioner or the plastic surgeon? I know that's a bad example, but the cardiologist. The specialist always makes more money because that's all they do. And we want people who can do the best job possible when somebody's opening up our heart. So the same thing goes for you. If you specialize in divorced parents who have 2 kids who are struggling to maintain their grades at school, that's a very specific audience. So when you say that to people, that's who I work with, they're going to immediately think of someone who fits that category. But when you say, I work with parents of young children, that's too broad to be a viable niche, okay? So when you are decisive, and you will gain clarity, and clarity creates results. I'll say that again. When you are decisive, you create clarity, and clarity creates results. You're going to get a huge sense of relief once you decide and commit to your niche. And every time you make an important decision like that, you're going to feel relief. So I'm going to invite you to take on this niche mindset, okay? So close your eyes and take a deep breath and listen to these words. I am the solution to the problem most people want solved. I am the solution to the problem people most want solved. This is the mantra that I would like you to repeat to yourself, that I am the solution to the problem people most want solved. So I'm aware that some of you may already have a niche that you're serving, but you might want to take it to the next level and refine it even more. So this niche clarification process is also going to work brilliantly for you. Either way, you have to do the exercise. I'm going to start by telling you what niche is not. So what a niche is not is it's not just the group of people that you help, and it's not just the thing that you do. Your niche is the magical combination of these 3 things: the people that you serve, the urgent problem that you solve, and the special solution that you offer, which is also your unique branded system. So the first is the people that you serve. The second is the important, urgent problem that you help them solve. And the third is your special branded system that solves their problem. These 3 elements must work together in harmony, or else you will struggle getting clients or stall out. That is the secret. It's a paradigm shift. Money flows to you through other people. So who those people are and the problem that you help them solve is the magic behind getting a flood of new clients coming to you so that you can market less and sell more. Your programs will fill faster and you can make more sales of your products, your seminars, and everything else once you clarify this niche. Now, I know some people don't like the word problem. So you can replace that with what is the concern or what are the challenges that they're having. Okay. But the truth is, if people are not experiencing a pain, they're not going to pay for a solution. So we actually have to help them identify and clarify what is it costing them not to solve this problem. Because a lot of people endure an enormous amount of suffering because they don't know that they can solve the problem or they don't think that they're able to. Okay, so I'm going to have you do this exercise. Now, I'm going to have to read this to you, and this is a process called the niche clarification template. And like I said, you are going to get this after this seminar. But what I want you to do now is listen to me very closely, because I'm going to take you through a list of urgent problems, okay? Because you want to choose an urgent problem. And this is not, of course, a complete list, but it's a sample of problems that many people experience. And it's going to stimulate your thinking so you can think of what problems you help people with. Okay, let me just press the pause button. Anybody have a question so far about what I've said up until this point? Okay. Any questions? And I'm waiting till 5, and then I'm going to go ahead and move on. Okay, so here's the process I'm going to walk you through. There's 4 steps. Choosing your urgent problem, choosing the group of people that you serve, making sure that step 1 and 2 fit together, and step 4, putting it all together. So the first place to start is, what is the urgent problem that people have that you actually want to help them with? So let's take a look at this. I'm going to start with the category called business. So let's say you're trying to work with people in business. Some of the problems that people may have are not making enough money, not having enough sales or not having enough clients, being overwhelmed, employees holding them hostage or feeling like they can't get their employees to work in the way that they'd like them to, being unsure how to market themselves, not clear how to do social media. That's a big problem that a lot of people will pay a lot of money for right now. A problem is not generating enough leads. Another problem is not having clear processes to deliver their products and services. Maybe they want to up-level their services and get higher income clients. That can be a problem. You could maybe, if you have a solution for husband-wife teams that don't work together well and they don't know how to fix that. Another urgent problem is not good with financial management. They're not making enough of a profit. Another problem is hiring practices are missing. Employees are not a good fit for that environment, but they're staying there. Another urgent problem can be that feeling that that some business people are successful, but they don't feel fulfilled. So write in or circle any of those or write those down. If you want to work with businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, or corporations, what is an urgent problem that you want to help them with? So go ahead and write that down. And I'm going to move on. The next category of potential arenas for working with people that have problems is in the area of relationships. So in the area of relationships, a big problem is that single people want a partner, but they don't know how to get one, especially singles that are over 50. That's a huge, huge market. No longer sure that their beloved is out there, giving up, feeling hopeless. That's a problem for a lot of people. Loss of a loved one. The devastation, the depression, the loneliness, that's a problem. Recently divorced and unhappy, that can be a problem. In a relationship but not happy, that's another problem. Not doing good in the communication area. So write down any other thoughts that you have that might be a problem in the arena of relationships. Could be unfulfilling sex life, considering a divorce, in the middle of a divorce, bored or unfulfilled. Okay, so those are some relationship problems that people experience, and there's lots and lots more, as you know. So go ahead and write that down. If that happens to be your area of expertise, you want to work with relationships, go ahead and write that down. If you want to work in the area of health, some common millions of problems here. So headache, back pain, neck pain, other types of body pain, digestive problems, chronic fatigue, asthma, menopause or postmenopause or perimenopause, lots of issues there. Pregnancy, how to have an extraordinary ecstatic pregnancy, depression, fertility, smoking, disease. There's some people that actually focus on cancer survivors. So, what happens after you've survived cancer? Sleeping issues. I can't think of anything more urgent than people who cannot go to sleep. That is a huge issue for so many people. And then eating disorders or eating trauma, any kind of eating dis-ease, overeating, undereating, eating the wrong thing, wanting to get a healthier lifestyle. So all of those health issues are brilliant, juicy areas for someone that can work with people around that. Of course, we didn't even put in overweight. Okay, so then that goes to beauty. Lots of problems there that people could experience if you have a solution for skin problems, feeling old, feeling unattractive, um, wanting to lose weight, be in better shape. Um, you might have a solution for somebody that has a problem in the area of beauty and or health. And then in the area of money, so a lot of you have solutions for people that have money problems. So money problems or money issues show up for employees. These could be some areas of problems. Someone just lost their job. Someone's scared to lose their job and they feel like they need the money security. Another problem is no purpose. Another problem is feeling successful but empty. Another problem is working for someone that they do not respect, or the job is not aligned with their values, or a lot of people flat out hate their job and see no way out. That's a huge problem. Okay. So, or fill in the blank. What is another problem that you know that you like to work with, you can help people with in the area of money? So other areas with regard to money are debt, people that haven't saved, no retirement. These are all big, big, big problems. Financial vagueness, which means that they're not saving money and they're not able to get ahead. No idea how to manage money. Fighting with the spouse over money, huge issue. Number one issue for divorce is disagreements over money. People having a love-hate relationship with money. Another issue is maybe they want to buy a house but don't know how they can afford it or how to do it. If that's a solution, if you have a solution to that, that's a great problem to address. It's important to choose a specific problem. The more specific, the more attractive you will be to your prospective clients and the more money they will pay you to fix their problem. So an example is stress is a problem. Trauma can be a problem, transition can be a problem, and those are a good start, but you could really be more specific. Okay, so I'm going to press the pause button for a second and just see if anybody has any questions, because I know I said a lot. Okay. Any questions about picking a specific problem? All right. So if you think of a question or you're not clear, that's okay. I'm going to ask you now a series of 6 questions. So identify some of the problems that you actually feel like you might want to help people with. So go ahead and just write those down. And I'm going to ask you 6 questions. And this is a good way to clarify if this is a good problem for you to help people with. Okay? So, ready? Question number 1. Which of these problems have you faced and mainly healed in yourself? Put a check mark next to all those problems. Which problems have you faced and mainly healed in yourself? Okay. Next question. Which problems do you already help people resolve? Which problems do you already help people resolve? So maybe you're already good at some of these things. You already have a track record. Question number 3. Which problems do you love helping people resolve? You actually really get a sense of deep joy out of helping people with that problem. Okay. Next question. Which problems do you want to become the expert at? You want to become the expert at this, meaning you want to be known as someone who is the go-to guy or gal for that issue. Okay. I know a guy who is a friend of mine who became the issue expert on chronic fatigue. It wasn't something he was trained at. He just decided that's my issue. And he started to engage with people about chronic fatigue. And now everybody comes to him, and he's got a 6-figure business in less than a year, mainly through Facebook. Okay, so notice if you want to become the expert in that issue. Question number 5, which of these problems do you want to fully heal and master in yourself? You want to fully heal and master in yourself. We're all a work in progress. Not everybody, we don't have to have complete resolution, because there's lots of people that you can help given the amount of work that you've already done. And if you want to keep working on yourself, that means this is an area that you're really, really interested in. Okay. And question number 6, which problems do you want to be thanked profusely for having solved? Which of these problems do you want to be thanked profusely for having solved? So by now you should have some of those problems, and you should have tick marks by these questions to see if this is a yes or no answer. Yeah. And when you do this process, you want to have at least 5 or 6 check marks next to the one problem that you really want to work with people on. Okay, and now this is the most important question, so pay attention. If you had to pick one problem right now, or you'd lose $100,000, which one would you pick? Okay, you have to pick one problem, or you're going to lose $100,000. Which one would you pick? All right, I want to hear from some of you. Guido, Cameron, Kaylee, Margot, any of you want to give me a response to that? And then we're going to take a bio break for 5 minutes. I apologize for skipping over that part. Okay, so which problem do you want to pick? Okay. And let's let's go ahead and see if anybody has a response to that. Guido, you want to speak to a particular problem? Do you want to write that down? I'd love to hear what your problem is. Cameron, Linda, Margot, Doris, anybody want to share? I think this is really an exciting process, because once you get clear about the problem, you're going to have a really much easier time finding your people, making clear offers, and getting paid what you're worth. So this is really the most critical part of this process, is picking your urgent problem. Okay. So I'm gonna just press the pause button. So here's 10, it's 10:10, and I think what we can do, and I apologize because I did say we were gonna do this and I forgot. So what we're gonna do is, okay, yes, so good. So Guido, you wrote a problem, which is you're losing $100,000. Got it. Okay, so we already have somebody who's actually willing to lose $100,000. No, don't do it. Pick one. All right. Um, so I advise you to take this 5 minutes. So we'll come back on the call at 10:16. I'm going to press the pause button and mute myself, and go ahead and type in questions that you have. We'll resume in 5 minutes, and I'm going to leave the broadcast live so we don't lose any connectivity. And thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you in 5 minutes. Okay. And we're back. Okay. And okay. Oh, yes. So I got a question that it was hard to write out the problems. And listen, is there a printed list we can choose from? Yes. I will send you the printed list that you can choose from. It's a whole niche clarification template that I have. So I will get that to you. And I apologize because this technology doesn't allow me to just send out the handouts. And I would have done it differently if I had known better, but I didn't. So I will send it to you. Okay, so another question that I have is how to help people out of jobs they hate and find work that truly fulfills their life purpose. That's great. That's a great one. I really think that is a really powerful niche because there is a lot of people in jobs that they don't like, and a lot of them are high paying jobs, so they don't want to quit them. So that's the a solution that how to help them navigate the fear and create certainty that they can make a living doing something else. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Guido. So one is you have two problems. People who suffer from neurodermatitis. Wow, that is very specific. And number two, helping project managers feel great and get great results. What's the problem? That sounds like a solution. So Guido, if you could write down what's the problem that they experience, the urgent problem. And the way to actually think about this is put on the hat of that, like put on the hat of that niche, that kind of client, and think about if you were in that job, if you were in that manager's position, what might be some of the problems that they're experiencing. So some things that I think of, if I was a project manager working for a big company, I might experience that my employees, that my team wasn't always as productive as they could be. So low productivity, could be low morale. It could be, I have a client recently had a team, and one of the team members had a huge problem with alcohol, and it was a big problem, except that they decided as a team to get together and intervene. And it was very powerful. They supported this person. He got the help that he needed, and he's been showing up as a stellar employee, keeping his agreements. So they had him make clear agreements and accountability. So that is a problem for people when people are not showing up for work on time, they're not being productive. Teams that are not communicating. A lot of teams, a lot of managers now have virtual teams. How do they feel connected and related to each other? That's a problem. So, okay, good. Helping project managers feel overwhelmed, out of control, stressed out, and burnt out. Low morale, bad results. Great. That's a very, very juicy problem. Excellent. Okay, great. I really, 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 really appreciate those problems. Those are fantastic. And Guido, with you, I would really want to make a choice between neurodermatitis, which is a very different niche than project managers. So asking yourself those 6 questions, which one do you already have experience working with? Which one have you already mostly healed in yourself? Which ones do you really love working with people on? So ask yourself those questions and see which one of those gets the most points. Which one do you want to be an expert at? Which one do you want to fully heal and master in yourself? And which one do you want to be thanked profusely for having solved? Okay. So when you focus on specifically helping a specific group of people, you will discover how to best serve that group of people. You will know how to talk about what you do in a way that is irresistible to them. You'll become known as an expert, a big fish in a small pond, and you'll get lots of referrals from this group because they know other people just like them. They know other people, other employees that are dissatisfied with their job. They know other people, project managers who are suffering from being overwhelmed and stressed out. Okay? So, great job finding your urgent problem. I'm clapping. Yay! Good job. You want to do neurodermatitis? Okay, great. Perfect. Okay. Good for you. That you could easily become an expert in. Okay, so let's get back on the wagon here. So the next thing that we're going to do in the niche clarification process is focus on your potential population. So who is the group of people? And so some potential groups of people are gender based, so men or women or gay people or the gender fluid community. Age is another population. You can focus on younger people, older people, under 30 people, millennials, over 50 people. I know a lot of people who focus on the over 65 people because they need new insurance and new kinds of help. You can focus on the population of relationship status. So I work with single people, couples, or poly people. That's another way to focus. Another population is in the career domain. A population could be, I work with employees, I work with small business owners, I work with entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, home-based business owners, managers, executives, corporations, C-level executives, etc. So write in what is the potential population that you focus on. Again, being specific is the bonus here. So you can choose one or two ways to focus. For example, one way of focus could be, I work with women business owners who are stressed out, overwhelmed, and unproductive. Or two ways to focus would be, I work with single women, or I work with Latino business owners, or I work with male employees, or I work with couples who run businesses together. So those are two ways to focus. So in my own compelling offer, my own niche clarification, I work with women entrepreneurs. So I have those two distinct groups of people, women who run businesses. So I would, again, want to ask you this all-important question. If you had to choose a group of people that was narrowed down, or you would lose $100,000, who would that group of people be? Write it down. Okay? So now you should have picked an urgent problem, and you should have picked one or two ways to focus. And I really would love to see some responses from you if you would like to share with me what is your focus. What is your focused population? Okay, so make sure that 1 and 2 fit together. So make sure the group that you have has the urgent problem you want to solve. And then put it together. So the group of people you solve it for is, and write down, women business owners who suffer from being overwhelmed and stressed out. So go ahead and put down the group of people you work with and the problem that you solve, and then you're going to put it together. Okay? All right, entrepreneurs who are making a difference in the world. Okay, thank you. That's great, Linda. However, I want you to put down the problem that entrepreneurs make. So what's the problem? And is there Are they female entrepreneurs? Are they male entrepreneurs? Is it any entrepreneurs, small business entrepreneurs? So can you focus that even more? Okay, you get my question? I know it's easy I start to qualify them by putting in the kind of, entrepreneurs who are making a difference is actually a, a it is a specific group of people. We can call them mission-driven business entrepreneurs, or high-impact entrepreneurs, or entrepreneurs who are committed to making a difference. That's great. And what's the problem that they solve? What's the problem that they have? What's the problem that they have? Okay. So anybody else want to weigh in here? I definitely want to see some more responses to that. Okay. Okay. Overwhelmed with their marketing. Sorry, Linda. Thank you. So entrepreneurs who are making a difference, who feel overwhelmed with their marketing. Great. All right. I didn't see that earlier response. Thank you. And Guido responds, active and successful people between 30 and 50 who suffer from neurodermatitis. Okay, great. Good. That's beautiful. Perfect. Okay. So next, I'm going to give you these 5 really, really good questions to determine if your niche is hot or not. So these are 5 questions that, now that you've identified the problem that you work on and the group of people you do it for, I want you to ask yourself, is your niche big enough to be viable? Is your niche big enough to be viable? And viable means that you can have some passive income products, that it's big enough. So the ideal number here is at least 10,000 people. Is your niche have at least 10,000 people in it? Okay. Second question, are you flowing upstream or downstream within the culture of your niche? So is the culture of your niche a culture that embraces what you're offering, or are you swimming upstream? I'll give you an example from my own experience. So for about 5 years, I was totally committed to working with mission-driven businesses, social entrepreneurs, businesses that were committed to making a positive impact and who struggled with getting clients. And what I discovered, because I was totally in love with these people, I love serving them, I was participating in conferences and doing lots of things with those people. But what I found was that that particular group of people, that niche, was swimming upstream in the culture of that niche to offer coaching services. They were not inclined towards coaching. They were inclined towards mentors and advice and venture capitalists, but they were not. I was flowing upstream, so I had to let go of that niche painfully. So, for example, if you were going to sell services into, let's say you're selling marketing services to teachers or consulting services to teachers, it's a very difficult niche to sell into because it's not in the culture of that niche to buy coaching and consulting. If you go into the coaches niche, if you say, I want to sell marketing services to coaches, coaches love buying coaching. That's what they love doing. They love learning. They love growing. That's why they're in that business. So you'll be flowing downstream within the culture of that niche. So when you're looking at your niche, ask yourself, am I flowing upstream or downstream within the culture of that niche? Next question, how highly do the people within that niche value solving this problem? If they don't value solving this problem at a 6 or higher, it's not a big enough problem for them. If they don't value solving the problem at a 6 or higher. So those are really important questions. I usually ask people on a scale of 1 to 10 to 10, how important is this for you to solve? But that's not a good enough question. So I have to add, on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to doing what it takes to resolve this problem? That's a better question. So you want to ask people how highly they value solving this problem. It has to be a 6 or higher for this to be a niche, a hot niche. Next question, do the people in your niche have a history of investing in things of a similar nature to what you offer? So they don't have to invest in the same thing, but similar things. So, if it's the plumbing association, do they have a history of investing in personal growth seminars? I don't know. But financial managers and realtors, definitely yes. They have a history of investing in things that are more personal growth oriented. So you want to see if it's within their mindset to actually invest in this, because people will tolerate an enormous amount of suffering before they will invest in a solution. Have you noticed? Yes, people will tolerate a lot of inconvenience and suffering and unhappiness before they will invest in it. So if they don't have a history of investing in things of a similar nature, it might not be a hot niche. And last question, most important, is do you love them? You're going to spend a lot of time with these people, and it's important to really love your niche. Okay, so I love these questions because I think they really do help um, validate or clarify if this is a hot niche for you or not. Okay, so it's very exciting to know exactly how to qualify your niche. And so next, I want to take you through, this is the bottom line criteria that your ideal clients must meet. Okay, so this is when you've already clarified your niche, you've already identified what the problem is. You want to, before you actually take them on as a client, you want to ask yourself, do you enjoy working with this person? Sorry. Do you enjoy working with them? Do they have a problem that you like helping them with? So this means somebody shows up in your space, they say, I'd like to work with you. You want to check yourself, and this criteria really helped me set better boundaries and make more money when I got clear that these were the criteria that the clients that I wanted to work with must meet. Do they have a problem that you like helping them with? Can they easily pay your fee? You don't want that to be an unnecessary burden for people. Do they need what you are offering? Okay, do they value the service that you're providing? Okay, this is an important one for a lot of people, that you want to make sure that the people that are hiring you or using your service, that they value what you're doing for them. I work with a lot of realtors, and they have a big problem um, with that criteria because a lot of people are used to undervaluing the services of a realtor. So that's something you can do something about. Does this client have the sufficient resources to do the actions that you're requesting? Because you're going to be asking them to stretch and do different things, do things different than they're currently doing to have different results. So do they have the resources, both internally and externally, to take the actions that you want them to take? Okay. And are they at 8 or higher in their commitment to transform their situation? So I like to see that my ideal clients are are coming in, and that they're really, really committed to transform their situation. Otherwise, the coaching or the training or whatever you're offering, it's gonna it's it's gonna just be harder. It's gonna be harder on you. And last question, are they coachable? Are they coachable? Okay, great. All right, good. So, any questions on what we have covered so far? All right. So, the mantra that I would like you to embrace is, I am the solution to the problem most people most want solved. I am the solution to the problem people most want solved. So just close your eyes and imagine taking that into your heart, that I am the solution to the problem people most want solved. It's a really big reset of your mind to embrace that. It has so much more resonance and meaning. Each of you on this call are really getting how you are the solution to the problem people most want solved. And that's going to make you feel so much better about offering it. So I want to invite you to make a decision to go full out in this niche for at least 6 months. To give yourself permission to stay with this niche, with the urgent problem and with the population that you serve and the solution that you offer, to really give it some traction, give it time before you switch your niche. Now, some of you are in this process currently. You've already got a niche and you're realizing it's either not profitable or it's not working or you don't love it for some reason. So in that experience, that's what I call the switch your niche not whole. The switch your niche not whole. And so you want to maybe not abandon those people right away, because maybe you're still serving some of those clients and you need to keep serving them because you don't want to cut off your nose to spite your face. You want to still maintain that service, but simultaneously you want to start putting your foot into this other category and starting to claim a new niche and start phasing out on that old niche. So that's a process that I call switch your niche not whole. And it can be tricky because it's like starting over, and there's a lot of resistance internally to starting over. But if you know that your niche is not profitable, if you know that you have a better solution or a group of people that you could serve even better, that'd be more profitable and more fun for you, then it is important for you to actually go ahead and give yourself permission to try that on and start to actually live as if that's your new niche. And I'm not going to go into a whole big thing today about switch your niche, but the switch your niche transition it can be painful, but it can also be done with grace and ease. So a few key simple tips I'm going to offer you now is to set a date by when you want to be transitioned out completely of your old niche. So even if it's a year from today, if you're doing a particular niche right now and you feel like you're done, that's complete. It could be tomorrow that you say I'm done, or it could be a year from today. But give yourself a date by when you're going to let go of that niche. And then you can gradually let them know that you're transitioning and let them know that you're moving into a new market. Some of those people might come with you. They might come with you, or they might have other resources for you if you give them a lot of notice. I started by sending emails out months and months in advance of my switching my niche and letting people know, I'm going to be phasing out of this particular way I'm doing business, and I'm going to be transitioning into this, and I'd really love and appreciate working with you, and we're going to come to a completion by this date. So I just want to give you a heads up. So giving people a lot of notice can really serve you, and then letting them know what you're up to. And I was able to transition without any loss of income and actually an increase of income. So that's tip number one. Let people know with a lot of advance notice. Start cultivating that niche now that you want to start working in. Start going to those networking groups and meetup groups, and maybe start a Facebook group about that niche. Start cultivating that and start blogging about that. Blogging, writing articles. So those are just a few tips so you can start to transition. Okay. So we're going to switch gears now and cover that all-important piece of the selling puzzle, the one that is really the basis for having a conversation with anyone, and that is, what do you say when someone asks you, "So, what do you do?" Okay? Which I call your compelling offer. I know a lot of you may experiencing that sort of paralyzing grip that comes over you when you're sitting at a networking event and suddenly the microphone lands in your hands and you're forced to stand up and your mind turns to frozen mass of ice and you can't suddenly can't even find your words. So in your mind starts saying, "What do I do? How do I say this in the most unbelievably cool and sophisticated way so every person who hears my words falls out of their chairs and runs over to me?" Well, right up into the moment when your mouth opens, there's a lot of editing going on in your head. So some of you are masterful at this already. I know you are. So I'm not talking to you. But those of you, like I have been for many years, get a little frozen when that microphone lands in your hands. We have created this 4-part template to help you overcome that paralyzing trauma. And it's the Who I Work With Is exercise. So I'm going to walk you through that now. So your compelling offer is 5 pieces. Who I work with, what is their pain or challenge, what is the solution that you provide, and what is the ultimate goal so that they can do what, and a good example is. Okay? So the first part is who I work with. So we just did this whole exercise so you can simply just take the work you just did and write it down here. So who I work with is, if it's women entrepreneurs, if it's project managers, if it's um, yeah, mission-driven entrepreneurs, then write that down. Who is the group of people that I work with? So you should already have that handy. And the second step is to mention the problem or challenge that they are having. And we just went through that. So you can just describe the situation that they find themselves in. All right. So an example is, in my case, female visionary entrepreneurs who struggle to get new clients. All right. And another example is women healers who are frustrated with their income. Women healers or practitioners who are frustrated and they're not making enough money. That's another example there. Okay, so next piece of the template is to speak the solution or benefit of what you do as it relates to their problem. I'm going to give you an example of this in a moment. So you're going to say the solution as it relates to their problem. What's the solution that they want to experience? Think about specific behavior or a specific situation that they would like to experience that would make them feel better. All right? And then the last piece is so that they can da-da-da-da-da. All right. Then they will identify themselves in that situation and can really experience your offer as a really compelling offer. And I think adding a good example I think it makes it easier for people to understand what you do when you give them a real life example. Okay, so I'll just expand on one of the ones that I use. So I help women entrepreneurs who struggle with getting new clients, and I enable them to double their sales in 90 days or less so that they can make more money and make the impact they came here to make. Okay. I'll give you the other example of women healers and practitioners. I work with women healers and practitioners who are frustrated with making a low income. And I help them reevaluate their services and charge what they're worth so they can have a lucrative, fulfilling business and make a bigger difference with the people that they serve. All right, here's another one. I help business owners who never have enough time to go through their job applications to streamline their hiring process so that they find the perfect person for the job they need and can focus on running the business and making money. All right. So now you should have some idea of actually how to put this all together. So you pretty much have already done the hard part. So fill in the blanks. People I work with is, their pain and challenge is, and the benefit I provide. So you can start with the words. I like to start with the words, and I help them, or and I enable them to, and fill in the blank. So what is it that you enable them to do? Go ahead and write that down. And once you've got that down, so step 4, so that they can, and this is, I think, really can be very, very empowering. So to give them a picture of a possibility that they didn't have before, so that they can have a more relaxed, fun life, so that they can be more productive and have more free time. So what does the result that you offer give them? And just remembering that most people want to save money, reduce their time at work, experience more freedom, more joy, more fun, more fulfillment. So what does it free up for them? What does it allow them to do? Your solution. Okay, so I just want to check in and see if anybody has any, wants to share their solution. So I'm going to write that down. Share your solution or benefit. So the solution or benefit is also what's going to turn into your signature system. So a lot of you know what a signature system is, but for those of you who don't, a signature system is really your unique branded system. So when you identify a solution that you have, this is where this unique branded system will enable you to stand out from everybody else in the marketplace once you have something that's unique and branded to you. Okay, so we're not going to go into how to do your signature system today because that's kind of an advanced seminar, but you know, the 7 steps to getting out of chronic pain, that would be a branded system. The 5 keys to marketing your services with joy and ease, that's a branded system. So you'll notice when you see a lot of these marketing gurus, they always have a branded system. So that keeps them, kind of ahead of the pack. Okay, so let's see, share your solution or benefit. Okay, anybody want to share that? All right. Good. So you really want to focus on this niche because you do the world a favor when you're clear and people want to work with you. They just need a reason to work with you. You have to give them a reason to handle their mind. People may already like you and they may know that you're great, but they don't know why they should pay you for something. So that's where having your really clear solution and ultimate goal is really important. I'll give you my own example, which I used to say for years in the past. I used to just say I helped entrepreneurs grow their business. It was terrible, but it was the best I could come up with at the time because I didn't want to leave anybody out and I didn't know about defining your niche. I still got a lot of clients because I talked to a ton of people, but it always felt lame and not very profound when it came out of my mouth. So once you get your compelling offer, you're going to feel much more relief. And you just may need to tweak it for a few days, but once you tweak it, I want to really ask you to take on the challenge of not messing with it. Don't mess with your compelling offer for 30 days. Okay, just leave it alone and try it and notice if people are leaning in or leaning out. Okay? You're going to see the lean-o-meter in action. So pay attention when you're talking if people are leaning in or leaning out. Every time you mess with your compelling offer, you confuse people, and then that means that they can't send you referrals. People want to send you people that they know. And I know a lot of you have been to networking events, and like me, I see people get up, and one week they're selling psychic services, the next week they're selling essential oils. So it's really hard to actually send people to someone when you're not clear what their real business is. And it's not good for you, it's not good for them. So remember what I said earlier, that how clients come to you is through other people. So it comes through people, and the people who know about you, who know exactly how you help people. This is what makes everything so fun and so easy and so effortless. This is really, really cool and a really important piece in your compelling offer. Okay? So just want to take a pause and see if everybody's on the same page. So any questions at this point about your compelling offer? Go ahead and write to me now. Okay, good. Great, Guido, turning chronic pain into happiness and purpose. Excellent. That's huge. That's huge. Cameron, you're still working on it. Good. All right. Linda, I think you have a great target. People are hugely overwhelmed with their marketing. So anything you could do to streamline that, make that simple and just bite-sized bits, that's going to make a huge difference. All right. Good. So, let me know if you need another bio break. I think I'm going to continue on for another 15 minutes because I want to, we may end early today, so we may not take the whole 3 hours, which probably would be really great for most of us. So the next step is really the crown jewels, and this is the ecstatic selling template. The ecstatic selling template. So this is the part where I said, you know, the 3 points were identify your niche, create a compelling offer, and master the free consultation. So the free consultation includes these 5 distinctions, these 5 distinct conversations. And they're so easy and so effortless. Once you know how to put things in the right sequence, you're going to be extremely happy and extremely effective at converting these conversations into high-paying clients. So the 5 distinctions in this free consultation template are called the conversation for relationship, the conversation for discovery, the conversation for possibility, the conversation for opportunity, and making a choice. Okay? Relationship, discovery, possibility, opportunity, and choice. Those are the 5 spaces of the consultation. So let's dive in. This is what I have spent the last 35 years working on, fumbling around, and navigating so that we could crystallize this today into this 5 simple, basic conversations. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through these steps, and I'm going to talk through them, and then we're going to take some time so you can write things down. You don't have to write anything down right now unless it occurs to you, but we're going to walk through it together. So remember in the beginning I said that ecstatic selling is about inspiring people into a new possibility such that they take action now. I really believe that. I believe that our job is to be sort of ambassadors for the universe, inviting people to take a bigger possibility than they're currently living in, because you're each transformational agents. And I believe that that is the power of ecstatic selling. So every time you are having a conversation with another person, that is lifting them up. That is expanding the universe. That is an ecstatic selling conversation. It's so easy. People get tripped up in this process because they don't know the flow of these 5 conversations, and it's not intuitive. So I just want to say that this is not intuitive. You actually have to learn it. Like, you have to learn, most of us have to learn how to read music to play the piano. You have to learn how to practice these distinctions in order to have it feel natural. So I'm going to take you through this, and we're going to start with the assumption that you've met somebody at a fabulous networking event. They like you, that they've agreed to have a free consultation with you. So all of you on the call with me now, we're going to just imagine that you've already got someone on the phone. You're either doing a Skype session or a phone session, and you're taking them through this ecstatic selling template. Okay? So the first thing is to know that the purpose of your free consultation is to find out if this person is a good fit for you. That's it. It's not to do coaching or consulting. You don't want to fix their problem and take it away in the first 40 minutes. So you're going to guide them through a series of questions that will help them clarify what they want and what they're struggling with. You want your energy to be highly attentive, listening at the deepest level, so you can pick up on where they are having difficulty or experiencing pain and frustration. Pay attention to what they are up to and what they really want. Keep them focused on getting clear what they want and specifically what that would look like. Pay attention to who's doing also most of the talking. The client should be talking 75% of the time, and you should be talking roughly 25%. This is a tip. If you sense that they are getting too quiet or not staying present with you, put the attention back on them immediately by asking a question. Okay? So these are the 5 steps. Each step takes the prospective client into another deeper level of the relationship with you, building trust, clarity, and commitment. So step number 1 is the conversation for relationship. Okay? So the space of this conversation is acknowledgement, creating relationship, positioning yourself as an expert, and setting the tone for the session. So this is the script. Now, I apologize that you don't have this in front of you, but you're going to get this template, and it's going to make it super easy to do this in real time. So just stay with me and pretend that you are the prospect on the other end of the phone, so you can feel the energy that I am giving you and the attention that I'm putting on you, so you can see what it's like to be on the receiving end of your offer. Hi there. I'm so happy to be with you and support you in your goals over the next 30 to 45 minutes. The reason I'm happy with you to be with you is because I appreciate how you showed up at that networking meeting the other night. I could feel a, a genuine, sincere energy in you, and you have an extremely powerful presence, and I was really drawn to you right away. And it seems that you know my friend Howie. How do you two know each other? So sidebar, I would want to find out if we have any connections in common, because that's a really powerful way to deepen the relationship. So back to the template. Before we start this free consultation, I just want to let you know 2 things. Number 1, this is a confidential conversation, so I don't talk about anything that we talk about with anyone else. Pause. And number 2, I would like to ask permission. Is it okay with you if I play the role of the coach? Pause. Let them answer. Good, thank you. Assuming they said yes, I'm going to say thank you so much. And then I might want to ask them, have you ever had a coach before? So I find out what their experience has been in the past. Okay, back to the template. Here's a little bit of how this is going to go. I'm going to ask you some questions so you can get crystal clear where you are and where you want to go. Then I will share some powerful strategies and some reflections that I think will support you to achieve your goals. And finally, we'll talk a little bit more to determine if whether continuing to talk together like this and maybe work together would be a good fit. How does that sound? Pause. Okay. So you just set up the whole context for this conversation and really shaped what's going to happen in this call and positioned yourself as the person in charge of the call. So that already is huge, setting up the tone for for your discovery session and your free consultation. Okay. Step 2, the conversation for discovery. This is where you're going to find out what they want out of the session with you, clarify what they're most challenged by, and help them get clear on the cost that not resolving this challenge is costing them. Okay? All right, I'm going to unpause. So, Susie, what would you most like to get out of our session today? I listen for her challenge or her request. And then I would say, okay, great. Thank you. So what are your biggest challenges when it comes to, and you're going to insert the problem that you solve. For example, when it comes to making good income, getting new clients, running your business, losing weight, being satisfied at your job, your relationship, etc. So I'm going to insert what I say because it'll help you feel the flow of this. So Susie, what are your biggest challenges when it comes to marketing yourself and getting new clients? I'm listening for the real challenge. If they're confused, just try asking the question again. Unpause. Okay, so Susie, what have you already tried to do to resolve this issue of getting clients? And how did it work? I'm going to press the pause button. So I'm really going to listen here and I'm really going to pay attention to what have they already tried. Maybe they spent a lot of money on an expensive website or SEO, or maybe they've done nothing, or maybe they've been to a lot of marketing events and nothing's happened. So I also want to dig deeper to see what's the real challenge here. So I may ask a few follow-up questions like, okay, so how are you going about the process of getting clients? I might ask them to clarify for me, how are you currently doing that? What are you doing? What do you think you should be doing? So, and how is it working? So you want to find out if it's working, great, good job. If it's not working, you want to also find that out. Unpause. So Susie, what do you think it's costing you not having this situation resolved? If you were to put the lost opportunity kind of, if you were to imagine that if this issue wasn't here, in the last 3 months, what would you think you might have made? Just in a lowball offer, a lowball guess. What do you think you should be making? Pause button. So now I want to ask them, what if they put that issue into dollars and cents, what do they think it's costing them not to have this resolved? Whether it's the dermatitis, or whether it's relationship issue, or whether it's being unhappy at work, what is it costing them? And here's some tips. You can ask them, what is it costing you in the area of health and well-being? What is it costing you in the area of relationships and intimacy? What is it costing you in the area of money and lost opportunity? What does it cost you in the area of fulfillment and satisfaction? Okay. So you want to really put your coach hat on here, put your coach hat on, and be very intentional about getting them to answer the question. Because unless people are in touch with the cost, they are not going to pay for a solution. Okay. Unpause. So, Susie, if we were to put that cost into dollars or lost opportunities, how many clients do you think you're missing out on because this situation is unresolved? So, in parentheses, you want to figure out for them if they're missing out on 4 to 5 clients a week, or they're missing out on, time with their kids. If they could put now this is difficult for some of you and some of the problems that you're solving, but if you can put it into dollars or cents, that's that that is really helpful here. Unpause. Wow. That sounds like it's an expensive problem. How much longer are you willing to deal with this situation the way it is? And I wait for their response. Okay, thank you. What do you want instead? What do you want instead? So now I'm going to listen for what does Susie really want in her life specifically. And then I ask, if I could wave a magic wand over your head and tomorrow morning you woke up and this issue was no longer here, it was completely evaporated and life was working exactly the way you wanted to, what would that look like? Pressing the pause button. So you want to listen very carefully and write down what they say, because this is what they really want. This is what they're missing. This is what they're looking for. Next question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it for you to get the solution that you need? And write down whatever they say. If it's less than a 6, here's what you say. Well, it sounds like this problem is annoying, but it's not that important for you to solve. Okay, if it's more than a 6, here's what you say. Wow, it sounds like you really do value getting this resolved and that this is important to you. But let me ask you another question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to getting the result that you want? And before you answer that, Susie, let me give you my definition of a 1 and a 10. A 1 is, I can live with this problem forever. I've been dealing with it for years. I can live with it forever. A 10 is, nothing and no one is going to get in my way of figuring this out. And this is just between you and you. I don't need to know the answer. You need to know the answer. What in your gut is the real answer to how committed are you to doing what it will take for you to resolve this challenge? Okay, you want to be very quiet here because this is where they really have to face themselves and tell the truth. Okay? So they have to have a 6 or more in order for it to be a viable client. So if it's over 6, you just congratulate them. You say, thank you. It sounds like you are committed to resolving this situation, and that's good. I acknowledge you. All right. So now you've taken them through the discovery questions, and you've gotten them to get in touch with what is the real challenge, what is it costing them, and how committed are they to solving it. So now you're ready for step 3 of the ecstatic selling template. So this is where I say, okay, Susie, can I offer my reflection on what I'm picking up about you and your situation? I wait for a yes. And then I reflect the positive qualities that I see, their values, their strengths, their actual real capacities, because you're going to be able to see and tune in right away to, you're warm, you're sensitive. I can tell that you really care about people. I can see that you have been effective in the past, and that you have made money at this other job before this, and you're really, really determined. You have a real strong will and a real inner strength in you. So I'll be very, very, very attuned to them, and really reading what I sense is their real positive qualities. Do you get that, Susie? Make sure they agree with what you said. Make sure that that's really Is this landing for you? Does that feel true? Because you don't want to say stuff that they don't feel is true, because it has to be aligned. Okay, this is now the second part of this is really, really important. Unpause. On the other hand, Susie, I see that a part of you is frustrated, and that you don't have a clear idea of what to do next to get clients, and you're missing a real system and a process of generating leads and following them through this system. Does that resonate? And I'm also picking up that you may be a little afraid to ask for help with this, because you think you should already know what to do, because you might have been successful in the past. Is that resonating at all? So pause button. So now what I'm really doing is I'm really trying to read the energy and help them identify what the thing is that's really holding them back. But I want to check in with them. So I'll ask, does that resonate for you? And I want to be really sensitive. You want to be very sensitive to make sure that it is indeed something that they feel is true. And then I might even ask, so how is it to hear that? And that's really powerful to ask. How is it to hear that? Because when people feel seen for both their positive qualities and also the things that might be lurking in the shadows, they actually appreciate it. Don't you appreciate when somebody really sees you? They see your strengths, but they also see your vulnerabilities, and they can honor that. Not when they're making you wrong, but then when they're just seeing you clearly. Like, wow, I see that you're a really strong person, but you may be the kind of person that people don't even perceive has any problems, because you come off seeming so together. Is that true about you? And that feels so great when people feel seen. Okay, unpause. So, Susie, if we were to work together, I would help you to stand powerfully in these really beautiful strengths that you have, and these capacities that you're clearly already good at. And I would support you step by step to walk through this part of you that's really hesitant and afraid, and give you some concrete steps you can take so that you can actually fill your pipeline, know how to generate leads, and know exactly what to say to new clients so that they actually sign up for your services, and you can make the money that you always want. How does that sound? Okay. So when I say that last paragraph, I may go back to what they said already that they wanted and restate that. I would help you stand powerfully in the things that are really working for you, and then help support you to walk step by step through these things that are a challenge for you so that you can insert the goal that they want. Okay. So this is a lot what I just went through already. This template alone is worth more than $10,000, because if you just used this template, which you're going to get, if you just started with the things that we've already done so far, you would already be so clearly ahead of the pack. You'd be so clearly grounded in a very proven step-by-step system that already will make them feel like you see them, you feel them, you understand their problems, you have concern, empathy, and curiosity, and you're also committed to them. And can you see how that already feels so extremely powerful? And we haven't even got to the ask yet. So that's step 1, 2, and 3. All right. So step 4 is really bringing them into that conversation for opportunity, which is your branded, simple system that is going to help them. So I would start out by asking them the question. So, Susie, does this feel like the kind of support that would be helpful for you to get what you want? They say yes or no. If it's a no, thank you very much. I'm so grateful that we got to have this conversation. Goodbye. If so, but if it's a yes, I do think this is the kind of support that would be helpful, then good. Thank you. The next question you ask is, so if we were to work together, what would you see yourself getting? Another really powerful, important question. And you just write down what they want. Write down what they see themselves getting. This is them now enrolling themselves in your program. And I would then say, thank you. I really can see you getting that. And then I may offer to also share some more. May I share some more of what I see you could get from the work that we could do together? And then you share how your offer can help them resolve their biggest challenge. And then you ask them, do you have any questions about that? Okay. So that's the opportunity. It's really, this is my simple system. This is how my system can help you get resolution and get out of pain and can help you deal with your biggest challenge. Okay. So now we're moving into step 5, which is the conversation for making a choice. And this is where you got to put your adult pants on, your big girl and big boy pants on, and say, I am a coach and I can help people make a decision. Because as much as it's important for us to get them clear about the problem and the cost of the problem, it's equally important to support people to make a choice. Because it does people no service whatsoever to leave the conversation unclear and adding another piece of unfinished business to their to-do list, right? So you do not want them to leave with this being an unfinished, incomplete task. You want them to make a choice. And whatever they choose is fine. So what I would ask next, after they've heard the opportunity and what they can get, I would say, so how much longer do you want to live with this situation? Okay. Are you ready to have more success at getting more clients and making the income that you really want? Yes or no? Would you like to go ahead and get started? So at this point, pause button. At this point, I would interrupt and start to explain to them. So would you like to know how you can work with me? I ask them that question. And I wait for a yes. Everything's by permission. They wait for the yes, and then I would say, great. So there are 2 ways that we can work together. You can come into my one-on-one private program, which is 6 months long. It costs this much money, and it includes this much coaching and this much VIP days. Or you can come into my group program, and I tell them how much that is, how long it is, and what it includes. Based on what you've told me so far, I would recommend, and I would tell them the truth, I recommend that they come into either a private program or a group program. This is where you want to be honest. So some people that I know, they will not get the benefit of working with me if they go into a group program. Other people, they would be much better off with the group support. So based on what you've told me, I would recommend that you work with me one-on-one, because you need a lot of hand-holding right now, and you're in a very, very, very vulnerable state, and it's a pivotal point in your business transition, and I think you really could use the support. So which way would you like to go? Okay, great. So now this next piece that I won't go into too much detail because it's just transactional. I would say, there's 3 ways you can pay me. But before that, you're going to have to do some navigating around the money. So the money conversation comes up here. So what I want to offer you, one big fat tip. My big fat tip about the money is, when you tell them how much you charge, you want to press the pause button and count to 5. So let's say your program is $4,997. Say, so Susie, the private coaching program is 6 months long. It includes 2 coaching sessions a month plus a VIP day. And that price, that investment price for that offer is $4,997. See how I'm waiting? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to hear and I want it to sink in. I don't want to cover it up with a bunch of noise. Let it sink in. And now I may say, how does that sound? So I could also then say, because I really like to incentivize people who make a quick decision, Susie, what I'm willing to do is if you can make a decision in the next 5 business days, that means today is Wednesday, let's say by Tuesday of next week, by Tuesday at 5 o'clock, if you can make a decision by Tuesday of next week by 5 o'clock, I would be willing to give you a bonus of $1,000 off this price, making the entire package $3,997. Pause. You want to pause and count to 6. Now, depending on what they say, you can now interact with them about does that work for you, or would a payment option be better for you? Would you like to know about the payment option? They'll either say yes or no. So when they talk about the payment option, you want to give them what the payment option involves. Okay, non-refundable deposit, a monthly amount of this much. Would that work for you? Okay, so I wanted to go into a little bit of detail because many, 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 many people fall off the wagon right there when it comes to talking about the money. And you have to write it down and make sure you are crystal clear about your investment price, your positioning price, your bonus, if you give an incentive for a quick decision, if you have a payment option and what that payment option is, how much is the deposit and how much are the payments. You have to have that all written down so you're not fumbling around, kind of trying to make it up and feeling like you just got thrown off balance. Be really grounded about this. So then you can just say, which way would you like to go? It's like pass the salt. No charge, no energy. It's just easy. It falls off your tongue. Okay? And then you just get their credit card, their PayPal, or you give them your address, and then you set up their first session. And you tell them what you're going to send you. And then you say, I'm so looking forward to working with you. It's so great. I really appreciate you and acknowledge you for taking a stand for yourself and trusting me to help you through this process. I'm very, very, very excited. Okay, so now I'm going to press the pause button because I gave you a ton of content there. So switching back over to here, I have a question. Okay, so, all right. On the previous slide, I had number 5. Oh, a good example is, sorry. So Guido had a question about when I went back to the compelling offer. A good example is, okay, thank you for asking that question, Guido. So when you write down, your compelling offer, who I work with. So if I was doing this, I might say, who I work with is women entrepreneurs who struggle to get new clients and market themselves. And what I help them do is I help them to be able to double their sales in 90 days or less through a proven step-by-step system that I created so that they can make the money that they truly deserve and make the impact that they want to make. A good example is Alexis, who came to me, who just starting out as a mortgage broker, who was only making $3,000 a month. And at the end of our time together, within 12 months, she was making $30,000 to $60,000 a month. And she had started a whole nother business because she was being so successful. She was able to transition out of her company, find a new company to work with, and start a development business. Okay, So that gives people an idea of the results that I can help them produce, of a real life example, and a real tangible thing. So that's what's great about a good example is in your compelling offer. It helps people kind of, oh, I get it. Some of you have offers that can be a little esoteric, so you want to ground them in. A good example is, I had a shamanic friend who, how she used to explain it is, a good example is a client who is going into a very stressful negotiation, and because I helped her access her power animals, she was able to have this power animal, this lion, sit next to her during that negotiation, and she felt totally confident and was able to navigate with no problem. See, that's a little bit of a woo-woo profession, but it works to give the example. Okay. Thank you. Great. So now going back to this consultation. So conversation for relationship, conversation for discovery, conversation for possibility, conversation for opportunity. What's the offer that you're making? And now making a choice, which is your real job here, is to help them make a choice. All right. So I just want to take questions for anybody have any questions at this point. Thank you, Guido. About, I know there's a ton of things in here that I would be happy to help you with. If you have a question, you can email me later on, because this is so much content. So, any questions about the static selling template? Okay. So, I know that we're moving right along here, but I have two more pieces that I think would be helpful for me to offer you today, because being really effective at your free consultation is kind of the heart and soul of your business. If you're a solo practitioner, a consultant, a coach, a trainer, an advisor, it's really at the heart of most things that we do, especially in the first couple of years of our business. So filling your pipeline with people who want to have these free consultations or discovery sessions, whatever you call them, is essential. Through the four main ways that I suggest that you find those people are through past clients, friends, and people who already love you and value you. From networking where your ideal clients go, and through speaking. So when you go to those events, you tell them what you do, you use your template, you use your compelling offer. People are leaning in, they're saying, God, that sounds good. And then you say to them, yeah, I think that's great that you seem interested. What is it that interests you about what I just said? And then you ask them, if I could help you with one of your challenges, would you like to have a free consultation? And it's really, really easy. It's like putting on deodorant in the morning. When you get this in your bones, it becomes so easy to invite people to have a free consultation. And then you just set it up. You set it up right then and there. Often, I'll give you a tip from my own experience. One of the things you can do is when you go to a networking event, you meet people, you know how everybody gives you their card? Well, you take their card and you immediately put it into your phone and you immediately send them your contact information and invite them to a free consultation. Done. And if they say yes, you immediately sent them a link to schedule that consultation. And then guess what? They get a link, they schedule the consultation, it's in your calendar and their calendar. Now you've got it on the books. Once something's in your calendar, it's much, much more likely it's going to happen. So that's a little bit about lead generation, which is outside of the scope of what we're doing today, but I wanted to give you a tip. Networking, speaking, friends, and past clients are the best places to fill your pipeline with your ideal clients. Okay. So if there's any questions, let me check and see if there's any more questions. Give the the investment amount and choices during our second call. Yes. So that's, yeah, so Guido, you made a good point, and I just want to address that, that a lot of times it's a lot to go through to do this free consultation in one 45-minute session. And I think it's actually really healthy and really good to set up a second session with people, either 3 days from the first call, 2 days from the first call, or even a week after the first call. Don't go beyond a week if you can help it, because too much can happen to that potential client in a week, in longer than a week, and you don't want to let it get stale. So I really do recommend that if you get to the point where you've really unearthed some really powerful stuff, some juicy content, some powerful problems and costs and commitments, then you don't want to rush the investment. You don't want to rush that conversation. So I would just ask and recommend that you ask for, is it okay if we schedule a 20-minute follow-up call on Tuesday at 5 o'clock to just finish this conversation? And generally people really like doing that because they've already got a lot going on. They're processing a lot. So then during that second call, you take them through, okay, so here's the goals that we talked about. What would be your goals for the next 6 months? What would you want to get out of the coaching program or the consulting program or the XYZ beautiful signature program? You write that down, and then you go through the investment steps with them at that time. So you're not don't cram it in. It will not work. All right. Yeah, so the second call is often very, very important, and is the place where you then can invite that person to really step into the work with you, and then get the paperwork, send them their paperwork, get the credit card and all that. Okay. So here's a tip. This is a bonus point. This is how you can use your email list to get a bunch of free consultations. And this is also just golden. Doing this free consultation email marketing launch is this is a fantastic way. Even if you have a small list, let's say 300 to 600 people, it's still a really good way to just invite people to work with you. So I'm gonna take you through this. Okay, I'm going to take you through this. So there's 3, and I'll send this to you also. There's 3 letters that you're going to send out, and you're going to send them out 2 days apart. So let's say you begin this email marketing launch on a Monday. Okay, you're going to send them the first email, which is a heads up email. And the subject line could be, hey, so-and-so, I was just thinking of you, ... Okay, and then in the body of the email, you'll say something like, Dear Joe, it's Mary. I've been thinking about you. The reason is a lot of people I talk to are struggling with this problem of how to bring their ideas into physical manifestation, and they don't know how to do that. They're not sure what's the right guidance for them, what's aligned with their core values, and it's a shame because the solution is actually right at their fingertips. They just don't see it. Maybe you can relate to this, which got me to thinking, what could I create that would quickly help you with exactly what you need to solve this problem? Well, today I came up with the perfect solution. I'm opening up 5 spots in my calendar to coach with me at no cost for 30 minutes. It's called my Manifesting Breakthrough Coaching Session. The only thing is, with only 5 spots available, these are going to be snapped up fast. And in order to be considered, you need to apply right away. So in this Manifesting Breakthrough Coaching Session, I'll walk you through, and then we have 3 bullet points. Discovering what is unconsciously sabotaging you from experiencing more freedom, creating a plan that enables you to get more clarity, and this one simple step that you can immediately take to get into action. All right. And then the rest of the email details how it works. So on Monday, I'm going to send you. So if we were doing this on Monday, I would say on Wednesday, I'm going to send you a special invitation. All you need to do is open the email, hit reply, and answer a few simple questions. That's it. Number 2, the deadline for applying is fill in the date. So it's best to hit reply right away when you get that invitation from me. Step 3, I will let you know by fill in the date if you got a spot with me. I hope you do. There's only one way to find out for sure, and that's to apply right away when this email arrives. Follow-up line. So watch for my special invitation, and I'll talk to you soon. P.S. Remember to mark your calendar because fill in the blank is the day you'll need to apply to get one of these breakthrough coaching sessions. Okay, you can see how cool that is. It's a really very, very cool template letter, and it's a heads up email, and that comes to them, let's say on Monday. So then on Wednesday, you would send them the next invitation email. And I'm not going to go through the whole copy of it because you'll get this in the mail today after this call. But the second launch letter is the invitation. So it has a subject that's called, okay, Joe, if you'd like my personal help, open this today. Okay. And then it goes through the body of the content, which is basically a lot of the same things you've covered. Here's how it works. And now you have included the little application. And the application is going to have 6 very important questions that you need them to answer. And so I also make it very clear that you must fill out all of the answers in order to be considered. All right. So now you have email number 2, which is 2 days later. And number 3 is the third launch letter, which is called the last chance email. Okay. And the last chance email will come out, let's say on Friday or Monday, whatever you decide. I like to give people, maybe launch it on the heads up email on Monday, follow up with the invitation on Wednesday, and then give them until the following Monday to reply. So that's the last chance. And then you are going to send them another email. I want to give you one last reminder that today is the last day you can apply to get my XYZ breakthrough session, my treat. Then you go through some of the same questions. You also insert the application, which is embedded in the email. Don't make it a document or an attachment. It's embedded in the email is your questions, and then they'll apply, and then you'll get the responses. And what you do when you get the responses is that you'll get anywhere between 2 and 22 responses, let's say. So then you want to divide them up, print them out, and put them into piles. This is the A pile, the B pile, the C pile. A pile is the pile of the most, just based on their answers, the people that want help the most, that have a problem that you solve, and that you feel good about responding to. The B pile is the next pile, and the C pile is probably the people that you're going to say, we're all filled up, and I'm so sorry you didn't qualify. Or I'm so sorry that I'm filled up, please try again. Okay, so everybody gets a response to their application. It's just that the A and the B piles are the people that you're going to invite to book a session. So what I also recommend is that you then let them apply for the session by putting a link. I use Time Trade, but you can use another scheduling. It's very, very simple, and it solves a lot of problems to use an online scheduling calendar like Time Trade, but you don't have to. It just makes it very, very easy for you to send out a response that says, congratulations, your application has been received, and you are a winner. And then you send them a nice letter. You tell them you can now you can now go ahead and schedule your session with me. It'll be 30 to 45 minutes, and click on the link below. They click on the link, it goes to the calendar, it shows up in your calendar. Bang, zoom. You are done. You've now booked anywhere from 5 to 10 discovery sessions just by using this simple marketing launch. So, isn't that great? I love this. I love this. I think it works. I think it's a really good way to do this. And if you're new in business and you don't have enough consultations, you can do this every 90 days or every 6 months. Whatever feels good to you. Go ahead and use this. Use this template. It's golden. Once you book the sessions, you go back to using my handy template, take them through the Ecstatic Selling template, and then convert them into paying clients. So that's how the system works. It's going to be brilliant. All right. I have one more thing that I want to offer you, which is a very simple thing, and it's called the Daily Action Tracker. The Daily Action Tracker. And this is something that some people have some version of this, but this really, when I really needed to call in clients, I really had a tremendous amount of success every day filling out this form. So the form is more complete than this is, and it starts by saying to create your intention for the day. And I recommend you send blessings and white light to your bank account, your money, and visualize the clients coming to you. Visualize all the clients that need you, and send up your little prayer, your intention to your angels and your higher self to please send me the people who need my help, the people who are ready, who are willing, and who are able and want my help. And bless all those people who are looking for you and need your services. So we send out a big blessing. And the first thing you want to write down on your daily action tracker is, how am I going to take care of myself today? So first of all, you write that down. Today I will go for a walk, meditate, drink my smoothie. How will I take care of myself? Next is calling in your ideal clients. And this is a little prayer that we say, dear higher self, please send me the people who are ready for my services. I am ready to serve, and I'm ready to be paid well for my gifts. If it's in the highest good for all, I am calling in, and write down their name. Who do you want? Who's on your prospect list? Who's in your pipeline? If it's in the highest good for all, I am calling in. Put their name down. And then for what is it that you want them to come in for? A program, a package, a discovery session? So go ahead and do that. You're going to do that every day for 30 days, just to get in the momentum and the practice of it. And then I added here a line at the bottom for a speaking gig, because that's another way you're going to get a lot of clients. So you're calling in your clients, your potential clients, and your speaking gigs. And that's what you set your intention in the first part of your day, the first beginning of your day. Set that intention. And you'll see what happens. May not happen today, but it's going to happen because you put out your prayer and you let the universe know you're ready and you're able and you're willing. And that's huge. Now, before bed, you come back, and I advise putting this daily action tracker on your pillow so you don't forget to fill it out. I had to put it under my pillow because I would forget to fill it out otherwise. So you're going to put that daily action tracker. You can print them out, put them in a notebook, but I recommend that you have them really close to your bed. Okay? And then before you go to bed at night, you want to write down, here's what happened today. Here's what accomplished. What did I accomplish? Did I get any new sales? Did I get any new clients? New conversations? I talked to some really cool people, and did I get any appointments? And now you write down, I am celebrating. I am celebrating that I had the best time talking to Guido and Cameron and Linda, and so excited that I got to be in this incredible opportunity with these beautiful people, Margot, and I'm really, really grateful. Thank you. And I am learning, and that might be a place where you had some part that, maybe it didn't go exactly the way you wanted to. So you're learning, you're all practicing. We're all learners in this little spaceship Earth. So I'm learning to be more patient. I'm learning to sit on my tongue when I feel like talking too much. I'm learning to ask questions instead of give answers. So this is a good place to actually identify your learning. Okay, so those are my two bonuses, the daily action tracker and the email launch campaign to get a bunch of free consultations. So back to you guys. Any questions? Any questions so far? Because we're wrapping up. We're going to wrap up in the next few minutes here. Okay. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Cameron. Thank you, Guido. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so glad you guys made it. You'll get a replay also for this. So this is the first time just so you know, this first time I've actually tried to do all this information at one time. I know it's a lot. And I'm hoping to make this into a more palatable bite-sized pieces. So I'm really grateful that you all showed up on the call. And these are a couple of other people that went through my program. Lisa Lutt, she increased her income 700% really in the first 7 days. I'm sorry. She increased her income 700% in the first 60 days. First 60 days. Laura, she increased her business 600% in the first month. That was pretty cool. Alana, she did a $90,000 MBA program, which a lot of people do, but it didn't actually teach her how to sell anything. So she joined my group program, which was a considerable amount, less than $90,000, and was able to get clients. So just wanted to give you some affirmations from real people who had real results. And here's my quote to you for today. Money does not come to you from out of nowhere. It comes from people. In order to bring in money, you have to connect to people who appreciate and support you. Because this is true, you can't run out of money. You can only run out of people. That's why the fear of running out of money is the same as the fear of being left alone. Isn't that awesome? I love that. That's such a powerful, powerful quote. So I bless you. I thank you. I send you out to go forth and multiply. And that's the Ecstatic Selling Seminar, everybody. Have a fabulous day. I love you and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.